This is my current Canadian Nightcrawler bin that I've been, you know, like I said, I set it up to where I put some in here just to keep them separate anyway. But then I have slowly been, you know, putting the ones from there into here. Now you notice there's a top on here. It's not very good because I just had to pick one off the freaking floor. But until I come up with a different strategy plan for right now, they got a little upset when I carried them. So we're gonna have to definitely come up with a, I'll have to come up with a different lid plan. This lid doesn't go to this anyway. I don't know what where the lid is for this bin is, because this one was outside. But you're gonna see why they're not my favorite. So I put, I have a cardboard, and then I have dry shavings on top, because I'm battling these stupid little fungus gnats. They came in from another, they were from another planted pot I had. And so now they're over here, ever since I upgraded the amount of moisture. I didn't have a problem before until I added a little bit moisture, but now they're being little pains in my butt. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and take all this dry off, because I gotta check on these guys too and see what they got going on. Canadian Nightcrawlers. Highest temperature, 65 degrees. Lowest temperature, 36 degrees. They build tunnels. They don't really work like a normal worm. They live in a tunnel, and they kind of, the way they described it, they kind of pop in and out of the tunnel and, you know, get their food. So all they do is want to escape. And it's very annoying. Okay, so this side was the side I fed on, so let's check that side. And from what I understand as well, I think this was the side I fed them on. I think it was. Let me double check though. Oh, no, maybe not. Maybe it was this side. Literally the only thing they do is try to escape. They get that upset. Really eating the food very much. They're not really, see, they don't, I tried putting some down there. I didn't give them a lot, but they're not prolific in the soil feeders like the other guys are. So their food's pretty much got to be on top. So I think that's what we're going to do. We're just going to put it on top. So anyway, so see, I just moved just a tiny bit, and they're already having a conniption. And that's literally all I did, was just move a little bit. But look at how fat these things are. These things are huge. So after I get done doing this, what's going to happen is I will be fighting pretty much all the worms that are in this bin on them trying to get out. Is it easy to deal with them like this? No. Do they take a long time to reproduce and breed and grow? Yes. So, is it worth my time trying to fight them to keep them in what I have them in? Or just put them outside or something and let them go do their thing and stuff. See, I've got one way over here. I mean, they'll climb. They will. I just picked one off my floor that was way over from where the actual bin was, because it decided to get out of the bin. But it's what they do, and it's kind of a pain. I mean, worms get upset, and, you know, they try to escape regularly, but these guys are the next level, man. They're the next level. I guess they're probably the equivalent to that one set of worms that a lot of people have a tendency to have problems with, and it's what the, stay in the bin. I mean, look at this. What are they called? The African Nightcrawlers, I think, are the ones that people, in general, most worm breeder tends to complain about. They're naughty. Well, these guys are naughty. I mean, they are. They're very temperamental. Local distributor of bait worms. Oh, jeez. Where are you going? And I don't want to compete with him. Like I said in my last video, I don't want to compete with him. Once I get done, once I'm done, what's going to happen is, now that I have disturbed the majority of this bin, which is happening right now, they're all crawling out. I'm gonna have to fight them all for a little while until they settle down and not try to crawl out anymore. So anybody who hasn't had Canadian worms, this is the endless battle of having Canadian worms. Temperature's one thing, because I mean, in some cases, I probably have a couple spots where I could put them. Too time consuming, having to sit here and keep them in the container while I'm trying to work them in the container. Or move the container. I moved this in here. And after I got done and I set it down, they literally, about 5 of them I was fighting, that decided to try to escape. Yeah, it was about 5 of them, I think, that I had to sit there and keep popping their little heads down because they all kept trying to come out. Because it's pretty hard packed down here. I mean, they like it that way because that's where also how they like to build their tunnels, but smell wise, I don't want to. This has been sitting for a little while. It needs to be fluffed. So, but I think basically what these guys do is when it's hard packed, it allows them to build their little tunnel system, whatever kind of tunnel that they build. That way they can pop out of it and eat and do their thing and stuff. But, you know, when you've got liquid on the bottom and stuff like that, you have to turn it after so long. I guess right here, we'll just do it right here. Of their food that they gotta finish. I don't want to feed them. They still got a bit that they need to eat up. So we'll just put it on top. Let them finish it up. Because it's starting to get a little stinky smelling. So that means it's not getting broke down as fast as what it should have been. So, get back here. Come on. Get back in there. So, yeah. Just sprinkle some of this on top of the smell. It does stink a little bit. I've tried feeding them foods before. They just don't eat it as fast. So I think most of the time what I'll do is I'll just keep them with, you know, leaf litter. Something that doesn't really get too stinky as far as foods go for now as well. They've got a lot of leaf litter in here that they can munch on. That's probably what they're mostly munching on right now, but with them last year because I just put them in a bin and just basically left the worms and fed them, but pretty much left them to do their thing. But actually dealing with them, nope. So we'll cover them up. back with their stuff here. And it looks like I had a worm that was in the paper. He got a little upset or something, and apparently he was in the paper, and he's a little limp because he got a little dried out from the paper. Well, I guess that's what you get for hanging out in the paper. I've got one right here. He's downbound and determined, so I'll just bury him. Okay, that's what I try to do. Most people just put them in there, let them go down on their own. No, these guys don't work that way. I have to bury them, and they'll probably still more likely. Somebody's going to come up to the top, poke their little head out, and try to crawl out. Just wait. I'm guessing 5 worms. So we'll take a bet. How many worms, now that I'm done, will pop their head out and try to escape? I say 5. And see what happens. Okay, let's see, where are we at? We got any escapees? I have to step out for a little bit. Yep, there's one on the floor. Okay, one down. Oh, jeez. These guys are just something else. Yeah, these are the problem children.